Let me walk you through all with the program that we have gone through with Infosys as a BPO partner and EdgeVerve as an RPA vendor, how we have gone through this journey. It's been a very interesting journey. As Srikanth said, we started way back in 2017. As we stand today, I think we have automated more than 550 bots that are running. We are spread as Philips, we have spread over 6 regions, and I think one of the proof point we have had, it was, I would call it as a litmus blue test for the bots, that we managed our quarter close in a completely remote way. Needless to say, I think it's very, very unusual and very difficult time, and almost 100% of our workforce are working remotely. It's just pure coincidence that we had this journey where predominantly all our bots, almost 322 FT, equivalent of automation that we have delivered over the last 3 years, came in extremely handy because it enabled us easily to move into a remote working environment and manage these bots, which of course complemented our quarter close in a seamless way. So it is extremely interesting, and as I said, it's absolutely not, we never foresee that that we will be encountering such a situation, but we say the proof of the pudding is in his eating, and we couldn't have tested it any better, the resilience than what we went through in the last 3 months. It all started back in 2017. Philips uses Hoshin planning, strategic planning process as a tool. We were refreshing our planning for the coming years. In 2017, we said we want to embark on automation because we had already largely outsourced our transactional processes to the BPO, which is Infosys. And we have also centralized many of our rule-based activities in many of our hubs, and the R2R activities predominantly was centralized for global operations in Chennai. So we were just next door to Infosys. So we had a captive in-house operations, we had outsourced transactional piece with Infosys, and we still had some residual R2R accounting controllers in the markets who were doing the judgmental activities. So we almost had a 3-layered organization. So there was a need to seamlessly connect these operations through automation. So that was very imminent when we went through the 2016 journey. And in 2017, we put that on the agenda. We said on the next 3 years, we wanted to automate at least 1 million manual hours, which is approximately 500 FTEs. The critical component of this journey was that the location strategy. So we went centralized our location, and we also went through a transformation in the location by transitioning the as-is organization into a COE-based organization in Chennai. We also created a design principle where we said we don't want to plug in as automation on the process, but we wanted to go through the end-to-end process and look at it from an end-to-end perspective as to which part of these processes would be ideal for automation. So we had an end-to-end thinking in that process. And Philips, in principle, is very much embedded with the lean thinking, and therefore we also said, the Hoshin agenda and the lean thinking has to be embedded in the program. So these were 3 important components of the journey as we went through. COVID-19, no one expected, right? So this was a complete stress test for the bots which went live. Almost 300 plus FTEs work was completely automated as part of the journey. So to that extent, we had to do less efforts in making sure that we are able to close our books in time, and also, the month-end closing is one part, but the quarter closing was also done, without any hiccups and complete and on time. So we hardly had any delays in that process. So it was very, very helpful in that perspective. Huge scale, and we had many challenges as it is. And initially, we had to stop after 3 to 4 months when a lot of things went wrong. So we went back on drawing board, made some changes both in the governance as well as in the approach, and that created the momentum and the speed that we wanted to deliver on what we delivered. On an achievement level, it says 320 plus. We are still, this is the third year and the final year of the Hoshin. So we need to deliver another 180 plus FTEs this year. So this automation that we are going through over a period of 5 years, over 18 million benefits from a value perspective has come in, and a lot of qualitative benefits, right? So getting first time right, very important, eliminating man-hours, and we are now able to focus more on a purposeful close where reviews are happening rather than trying to fix things which are wrong. So I think the engagement is also, it plays a very important role in engagement of the people that are in the back end of the financial processes. So overall, a very important journey. So far, good success, but still a lot to come.
What I see as a critical success factor for an enterprise-wide rollout is organization change management. And that, as Arvind said, starts with sponsorship. Philips sponsorship was key to success here. So 3 years back, the vision was jointly created, an aspirational target of 1 million man-hours with 500 FTE savings. So that's the kind of an aspirational target that charged all of us. And it is not just the target, it is the target that becomes a shared goal between the service provider, which is Infosys BPM, as well as Philips business. So hence it becomes like a single goal. And that I see as the critical change. And that drives the culture within the organization and within the team on in terms of investments, in terms of bandwidth allocation from Philips' perspective, either for business or for IT, which I see as the topmost critical success factor for the program. Next comes is the ownership of what do I want to do. So typically some of the RPA programs starts with, can I do this small project? Can I fix this? But Arvind and team was very clear that let's not automate waste. We will focus on what our process should behave or be 3 to 5 years from now. And Arvind took the ownership for the vision. So for a given process, we identified the key folks who dedicatedly work on, who are pulled out of operations, who are both from Infosys operations perspective and Philips business, to create the vision document for each process. And it went through multiple review. And in that vision document for the process came the opportunity for elimination, simplification, standardization, and finally automation. So that way, we ensured that it is a structured approach for opportunity identification. And what I see is the collective decade-long operations process expertise, where we challenge the status quo, plus the stable platform was helping us. While these were the first aspect which are enablers, the ones that helps us in running the engine smoothly are the second set of blocks which you see on the bottom of the slide. It's a multi-tiered governance, a 4-tiered governance.
So just to talk about few of these from a platform point of view, one is, of course, the ease of configuration. As Lakshmanan mentioned, that this required development, configuration, and building bots at a very, very large scale. And almost 80% of the bots that have been made have touched the SAP application, which is obviously one of the core applications inside the F&A function. And it really helped that Assisted RPA comes as a SAP certified automation configuration, including built-in SAP recorder. And we also have certified some of these automation capabilities with SAP itself. In addition to the SAP configuration capabilities, what has also helped as part of these implementations are the out-of-box configuration capabilities for many of the Microsoft products. The other aspects obviously have come to fore. One is about the centralized bot governance and monitoring. And as you can very easily imagine managing 550 bots continuously performing business critical applications naturally requires a very robust centralized control, monitoring, and management capability for bots. And that is exactly what AssistEdge Control Tower provides. Another critical point that Lakshmanan touched upon is the infrastructure monitoring. Naturally, RPA platform plays one role in this, in a massive scaled implementation like this. A lot of important role is also played by the infrastructure that is supporting this platform. So it also helped that AssistEdge could provide a very robust infrastructure monitoring dashboards, which we talked about earlier. And fourth, which is again very important point, is about enterprise-grade security and reliability. Okay, and the final thing that has really helped in this particular Philips implementation, which is the academy-based training and enablement that AssistEdge Academy provides.